Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Captain Gancito here, and today we're gonna be just chilling, gaming, and watching some YouTube. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna do some sound checks. First of all, I want to do my voice. Doo. That sounds pretty good. All right, let's do music. Now, music and voice. Now, music and voice. Oh, my voice is way louder. All right, let me turn down my voice. Now, music and voice. Oh, my voice is way louder. All right, let me turn down. Echo. All right, so let me turn down the gain. Voice check 1 2 3. That's way better. All right, now let's do YouTube.
Chains of lace, lipstick trail, one more name, one more hail. Cross my breath with sacred ash. I give him form with every lash. He is my habit, dark and savage.
Okay, so let's pause the music real quick and let's play. What sounds good? All right, so first things first, let's introduce this channel. This is Mind Unveiled. Let's read his profile. The intention of Mind Unveiled is to bring back curiosity into the human race. We don't claim to have the answers, however, we leave you with many questions that may assist you in your journey. Here at Mind Unveiled, we explore alternative topics and theories that have either been discarded or suppressed in this present era. The channel is created by Soul and Moon, the positive and the negative. As above, so below, male, female, alpha, omega aspects of the mind. When talking about this material, we have to be very mindful of the perception of the viewer. No form of judgment on the speaker can happen when the beginner is coming to such an alternative view on reality. Mind Unveiled is created from home and is not a part of studio or high end production. If you wish to know more about us, we include small details from time to time in our videos. Check them out, guys. Mind Unveiled on YouTube. So, honestly, these guys like to make a lot of alternative history as well as unknown history, such as Clowns Unveiled, the history of clowns. Like, I know a lot of people don't really think about where they came from or how they originated or what they're based off of. So, Clowns Unveiled is actually a pretty creepy video. Hmm. Let's watch something that's not too long. I don't want to get too crazy into it though. I don't want to show you guys about Cabbage Patch Kids. That's actually kind of creepy as well. He talks a lot about eugenics, Tartaria. If you all know about old world history, mud flood theories, Tartaria is always at the end of the pinnacle when it comes to the topic. Tartaria is an ancient civilization slash nation that was once on the maps but now has been erased. Okay, let's add the source audio to this. Monitor off. All right, let's see if we can get it going. What sounds good? Ooh, let's talk about the Nephilim, guys. Uh, Actually, this one's a little shorter. Tartaria explained part six. Oh, that's part six. I don't want to get you guys lost in the sauce. There's a lot of info that he might just skim over that might seem a little important. Part five, part four, part three, part two. All right, let's just watch part one. Tartaria explained the Irish connection. Let's see if you guys could hear it. All right, let's just watch part one. Hmm. Doesn't look like you guys could hear that. Doesn't look like you guys could hear that. Let's try it again. Nada. Look, ¿qué está pasando con esto? Come on, Streamlabs. Properties. Let's get rid of this. Delete. Nada. Está pasando. Come on. Streamlabs. Delete. Be patient with me. All right, let's check this out. Let's try it again, guys. Third time's a charm. All right, I don't give up. So let's go to try number 4. All right, I don't give up. So let's go to try number 4. I think I know what actually was happening. Oh my god, that's loud. YouTube. Come on, guys. Okay, let's see it. We might have to look this up.
Let me tell you why we had Spectrum. I'm on a video.
Oh, okay. So I got to do desktop audio. All right, that's easy enough. Remove.
reality is.
In order to firmly grasp the ideas presented, this is what you will need to know. Mainstream history,
Hello.
alternative histories like Atlantis, Lemuria,
Hello,
religious
hello.
doctrines, the history of the occult and astrotheology, and the history of Rome
Can
and
you guys hear
Christianity.
that?
There's been a lot of hype around the Tartaria conspiracy lately, and naturally there's a lot of confusion surrounding
Yes, it's
it.
working.
This video is really an attempt to develop the theory further.
Alright, get ready, guys. Grab your popcorn. Let's enjoy this.
Release all that you think of as true. Relax the mind and ask the question, do I truly understand what this
Mind
reality is?
unveiled.
In order to firmly grasp the ideas presented, this is what you will need to know. Mainstream history, alternative histories like Atlantis, Lemuria, religious doctrines, the history of the occult and astrotheology, and the history of Rome and Christianity.
There's been a lot of hype around the Tartaria conspiracy lately, and naturally there's a lot of confusion surrounding it. This video is really an attempt to develop the theory further. So, let's type in Tartaria in Google and see what we find. If you look on Wikipedia, the first result, it will show you a map from the 1800s, 1806. Keep that in mind for later. Now on this map, Tartary is just an Asiatic landmass, with city names that are based off Mongolian or Chinese. And where we see Russia and China, this is where Great Tartaria once existed. Let me show you a map from the 1600s. Let's notice how this is much different. We see Great Tartaria. And let's also notice the etymology change of all the cities. It's no longer a Mongolian empire, it's something else, maybe pre-Russian? Also notice this, California is an island? Very interesting. Wikipedia's explanation is it's a messaging error. Considering how high of an art cartography was, I find that hard to believe. As far-fetched as the following information may seem, I'm going to ask you just to follow down this path. Some people are saying that Tartaria is some kind of distraction, but from what? And is this theory any more of a distraction than Netflix and video games? Do you honestly
Video
feel satisfied
games.
with the history they teach you in schools and churches? I understand that most of you are believers of evolution and Big Bang Theory, but let's just explore a very different alternative to conventional history. I don't know everything about the past. I wasn't there. Nobody was as far as we know. Science likes to think it has all the answers, yet scientists still can't tell us how consciousness came to be, the connection between consciousness and matter, and why the hell we're all here. My goal is just to get the message out there to those who are genuinely curious about what's going on in this life. It's an understatement to say that humanity is lost.
It's been pointed out by many historians that humanity is much older than we have been told. It's possible that civilization goes back millions of years, and we could be in some kind of cycle. What's clear is, advanced civilizations did exist in the past. If the monuments don't convince you, consider the myths and legends about gods having to deliver a culture important knowledge. There are hundreds of books written on Atlantis because it was a real place.
The first story we really hear of this is from Plato, and in Critias is telling Socrates a story. He says, "Look, Socrates,
If you don't know who Socrates and all these guys are, open your books.
I got this crazy story that this wise sage named Solon told my great-grandfather, who was also named Critias. And my grandfather told me the story when I was 10. My grandfather started by saying how wise Solon was and that he was one of the wise 7 sages. And he, Grandfather Critias, was going to some poetry youth meetup. And there, Solon, his teacher, is trying to tell a story about the greatest achievement that the Athenians ever did. But he says, and which ought to have been the most famous, but through the lapse of time and the destruction of the actors, it has not come down to us. I thought Socrates was an Athenian. Socrates is hearing this story from a young man named Critias. Critias is relaying a story he was told at age 10 by his grandfather, who when he was young was told this story by Solon the sage. Confusing, right? Well, it's meant to be. So Solon is now starting the story saying basically, yes, we did something really great, but you don't know about it, young Critias, because these actors have been destroyed through a lapse of time. Okay, Solon continues telling Critias about a certain district in Egypt named Sais, and how they had a great connection with the Athenians at this time. So Solon was taking a trip there and he was received with great honor, and he started a conversation with the priest of Egypt on past human antiquity, or basically ancient history. Now it says that Solon and none of the other Hellenes had nothing to say on the matter, and I think when Plato was writing this, he was implying that the priest didn't really want to talk about it that much.
CGI.
They were just listening to see what they knew, and at the end of the conversation, they didn't know anything, the Hellenes. They were clueless. So it goes on to say that on another occasion, Solon asked the priest again. And here is what I'm trying to show you guys. Solon was trying to pester the priest. It was like trying to show the priest his outstanding knowledge so the priest would talk about what they knew. Why? Because Solon knew that the Egyptian priests were much, much wiser. So Solon tried to impress them, talking about his knowledge of Pharonius, who is called the first man, and about Niobe. Now I'm going to take a little break here because I want to show you something. What does this have to do with Tartaria? Well, let's look up Pharonius and look up Niobe. This is basic Greek mythology, just the old gods, right? Let me remind you what we're talking about here. Solon is trying to tell the priest of Egypt, hey, this is my esoteric
What's up, brother?
knowledge and how it pertains to ancient history. Plato is literally showing you in play format that Solon was one of the sages of the Greeks who knew the secrets of their mythology and how it pertains to ancient cultures. Niobe was the daughter of Tantalus, and according to Wikipedia, Tantalus was a Greek mythological figure most famous for his eternal punishment in Tartarus. I'm going to tell you what the secret of Pharonius and Niobe is, but let's take this one step at a time. Let's continue. So Solon tells the priest, yeah, look, here's the secrets of Pharonius and Niobe. And the Egyptian priest says,
O Solon, Solon, you Hellenes are never anything but children, and there is not an old man among you. Solon in return asked him what he meant. I meant to say, he replied, that in mine you are all young. There is no old opinion handed among you by ancient tradition, nor any science which is hoary with age,
No,
and
my
I will
mic
tell
ain't
you
off.
why.
I'm watching this.
There have been, and will be again,
This is,
many destructions of men.
Mind Unveiled, and it's the part 1 of his series to the Tartaria explained. So the first thing he wants to do is show the Irish connection. So he's talking about Plato, Critias. Can you hear me? The video is loud. Is it too loud? I hope it's not too loud, bruh. I want to see if there's like a way to turn off this video delay. It seems like my stream is delayed by about 5 to 10 seconds. No, it's not too bad. Putting baby to bed, then I'll be on. All right, just keep listening, bro. We're all listening.
Kind, arising out of many causes. The greatest have been brought about by the agencies of fire and water, and other lesser ones by innumerable other causes. There is a story, which even you have preserved, that once upon a time, Paithion, the son of Helios, having yoked the steeds in his father's chariot, because he was not able to drive them in the path of his father, burnt up all that was upon the earth, and himself was destroyed by a thunderbolt. Now this has the form of a myth, but really signifies a declination of the bodies moving in the heavens around the earth, and a great conflagration of things upon the earth, which recurs after long intervals. At such times, those who live upon the mountains and in dry, lofty places are more liable to destruction than those who dwell by rivers or on the seashore. And it's from this calamity the Nile, who is our never failing savior, delivers and preserves us. When, on the other hand, the gods purge the earth with a deluge of water, the survivors in your country are herdsmen and shepherds who dwell in the mountains. But those who, like you, live in cities are carried by the rivers into the sea. Whereas in this land, neither then nor at any time does the water come down from above on the fields, having always a tendency to come up from below, for which reason traditions have preserved here are the most ancient.
Ooh, that's interesting. It's like talking about if there's like calamity of the earth, earthquakes, tectonic shifts. If you're in the mountains, you're gonna die. So those elites that are building giant bunkers underneath mountains in giant cave systems, those are not safe in those times of destruction events. But if God does another flood, then the rest of us are the ones that are going to die.
Notice how he's talking about two different cataclysmic events. He first is speaking about a myth that Solon's people have preserved, and then he states, on the other hand, when the gods purged the earth with a deluge of water. So we know there's a distinction there. He said many destructions. The myth goes Pathon, having yoked the steeds of his father's chariot, wasn't able to drive it in the path of his father. Could this mean that once Tartaria became a global empire and its motives didn't follow the same path as its predecessor Atlantis? And because he couldn't drive the path of the father, or remain as true as was the once great Atlantis, the chariot burnt up all that was on Earth, and he himself, Tartaria, was destroyed by the thunderbolt. Could it be that Atlantis was destroyed because of natural progression through the ages, and perhaps Tartaria was destroyed for its evil motives, or its evil takeover? After the flood of Atlantis, this great nation tried to recreate Atlantis once again, only that it must have been forced so the civilization fell in cataclysm. The priest is saying, look, here, this tradition goes way back, and everything we know and all the science that we practice are ancient, very ancient. We preserved our sciences. He called the Greeks children, saying there was not one man among you, and remember, this is Plato, where we get all our sciences from. Now the priest said, the people who live on the mountains and dry and loft places were more liable to destruction when referring to Solon's myth. This is a very key factor. Okay, so that's the first understanding. There was an
Wow, that's a nice
ancient
drawing.
advanced civilization in the past, and it was destroyed by water, and this is Atlantis. This is what we call pre-Diluvian, or pre-flood era. I want to start this off by just making sense of our timeline. If you're new to this stuff, then bear with me please, because I'm just going to explore out of our conventional timeline here. So we need to use certain terms and cultures to help us understand where we are before I can really make my final thesis. So we have this Egyptian priest, and he's talking about a pre-Diluvian age. So what was Solon talking about with the secrets of Pheronius and Niobe and how it relates to antiquity? While researching for this thesis, I had an inkling to look up the Gaelic.
Let's read a little bit about this. All right, it says French and Celtic tartane has the same etymology, and both the Galilee and the French suggest that the occasions of the kind of a peculiar dress was worn by the messengers. See Scott's Lady of the Lake. Tartar, or catch a tartar, a slang expression which denotes that a person has caught more than his match in an argument or an encounter. To catch a tartar, huh? The word is often accounted for by the story of an Irish soldier who in some eastern battle called out that he had caught a Tartar. Bring him along then, said his officer, to which... Oh, let's see if it keeps
etymology
going.
for Tartar. Let's see what it says. Gaelic, Tartar, a great noise of confusion, that which is noisy, bustle, uproar, confusion. A Tartarian is a slang, bad word for a thief. Then get this, it also says that the word is often accounted for by the story of an Irish soldier who in some eastern battle had called out that he had caught a Tartar, or a thief. This brings me to the Irish origins of civilization. We're told by authorized history that human civilization migrated east to west, but in this theory, a group from Atlantis survived and preserved the knowledge. Whether they knew the flood was coming, who knows for certain, but they landed in Ireland, and here somehow they survived. It's possible that this is the beginning of what we know as civilization, instead of east to west. I'm going to show you how the history of what we call the Irish, or the original inhabitants of Ireland, the preservers of the science of old, survived the flood, rebuilt their civilization, started traveling around the world to help the survivors, and bring their cultures back to civilization. Long later, those we know as the Greeks and Romans completely renamed these people, branded them as savages, and basically rewrote history for the masses.
Isn't that weird how the conquerors always call the other people savages when they're getting genocided?
And we think Greek and Romans were the great civilizers of the world. The book, Irish Wisdom Preserved in Bible and Pyramids, by Conor McDarry, the audiobook is online, and all you have to do is go give it a listen, examine the evidence he presents, and decide for yourself. In case you don't have enough time though, I'll try to break it down. Do you remember the Phoenicians? Yes, no, maybe? They conveniently skipped over them in high school, but they were a big deal. In mainstream history, their language was the basis of the Greek culture, and they sailed all over the coast of Africa, all the way to Britain. They were the sea explorers with advanced ship. However, when you look up in the history book, you'll get pictures of very primitive, unintelligent people. Baloney. Phoenician was a cover name, and you're going to see this happen a lot throughout history at the hands of the Greeks and the Romans. They simply renamed the Irish Phoenician, and they were all but forgotten. You can find more connections to the Celts to the Phoenicians based on their language.
Major star forts areas here. Malta is down here.
More connections to the Celts to the Phoenicians based on their language here on the website simply called phoenicia.org.
Conor McDarry states, in their great missionary pilgrimage, they circled the globe in order to give religion and knowledge of God to the different races of mankind. They also established priesthoods and gave alphabets to the races who were unenlightened in such matters up until that time. Ireland is the country in which the arts and the sciences were first discovered and developed. To this country, the Greeks applied the term oigia, a term which was never given to but the very ancient, and it's from the Irish, the Aryans, that the Greeks traced their descent.
In modern times, the term Aryan has been misused. It was never meant to be used for race. The Irish passed along the knowledge as spiritual guides, Arya meaning of higher class or status. This is where we get Indo-Aryan, where the Irish landed and must have shared this information with the Indus Valley culture. The evidence suggests that they were the spiritual teachers of the ancient world, after the flood.
Third
This is
eye,
why
baby.
All religions are based on astrotheology. We have some worship all over the world like the Maya, Aztec, Native American, Sumerian, Babylonian, Chinese, Japanese, Celtic, Turkish, and it goes on and on.
The term Arya is derived from Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, the ram. The symbolism of the ram is the knowledge of God, or the El. When Moses came down from Mount Sinai, he was horned, meaning that he had gained knowledge. Even Michelangelo represents this in his statue of Moses. The word pyramid, pi-ra-mid,
Ra.
means paternal power of the ram. In Egyptian culture, many pharaohs took on the name of Rama, or Ramses, to show their knowledge of God. In Christianity, it's been altered to be lamb instead of God, yet the symbolism of the ram and its meaning is deeply ingrained into nearly all world religions. Conor McDarry states, to the Irish Magi we owe the discovery of fire and the common grains, which they developed from the grasses. They were the first people to practice agriculture. They invented the common tools of workmanship, which have come down to us practically unchanged from those ancient times. There's no mistaking the monuments left by the Irish, who were once the rulers and masters of the whole earth. Their rule embraced all countries. It was worldwide. Ireland was the first mistress of the seas, and it was the first and only worldwide empire which has ever been known, for it was a spiritual empire.
I'm going to dig deeper into Egypt now. And yes, I realize there's so many theories out there on who really were the inhabitants. I can't say I know for certain. All I can do is
If you guys ever get bored, go research hieroglyphs and pictograms. There's some very strange things, man, like human hybrids, cloning, gene manipulation, gene splicing. It's kind of weird. Higher frequency energy tools. List goes on.
place the pieces I have found and gather feedback and more information. I'm sure there's more than meets the eye, but The info's out there. I know I'm not the only one interested in what really happened in humanity's past. From Gaelic etymology, Egypt signifies the land of Copt, or the Coptic land.
There
Others
they
derive
are. Look at that bird people. Just look at this. All right, we got Anubis, a human dog holding. This is a hieroglyph. I wonder what this. It's like a staff with the cloth. This could be a head here. Could be a pot. We got a little bird. He's giving away some type of light energy, or what is that? It's like a minx, a lemur. It drops into this guy, this little guy here. I don't know what this is.
from and the yurt of black vulture. The
There it
color
is
of
again.
the bird being, according to them, characteristic of the soil or of its inhabitants. Let's go back to the story of Critias in Egypt. So Solon is in Sais, and he's talking to one of the priests. Now, to make things a little clearer, let me explain. The sage and the civilization of Egypt at the time was most likely of a darker complexion. We don't know for certain, but it's apparent to me that Solon was light-skinned, or what we're told, Aryan, but he wasn't really now, was he? He was many generations after the first race of man that landed in Ireland after the flood and redistributed knowledge to mankind throughout the world. And that is what the priest was talking about. He was telling Solon about his people, the Irish, or the Chaldeans, Phoenicians, Babylonians, and of the many names they were called. According to the maps in the 1600s, the biggest empire was the Great Tartaria Empire. I'm not sure what culture this was. I'm not saying this is an Irish culture. I'm just bridging the gaps, so that we can understand why Tartar is associated with Irish etymology and how it came to be. In Greek mythology, Nile was a myth of Tartary and its destruction, and Solon thought that Pharonius from Argos in Tartary was where man hence came. Pharonius must be a king who had survived the Tartarian disaster and redistributed knowledge again, but this time east to west. This is why mainstream history we're taught this, because that is what the Greeks thought. That is what Plato wrote. Well, I'm gonna take a guess and say that Plato was a made-up figure, but we'll get to that. The priest was
That's what
unimpressed
they
with
say.
Solon because the Hellenes, or the Greeks, stole all this knowledge. They had no preserved knowledge. They stole knowledge, renamed it, and took it for themselves. Not only that, but Solon didn't even know where his own people came from. The priest is referring to the West, in Europe, in Ireland, right after the flood, way before the empires of Great Tartaria. The Irish were responsible for preserving music, the secret of sound vibration, language, the occult, tarot, which the Jews turned into Kabbalah, advanced architecture, and stone megaliths, geometry, math, you name it. all the
Geomancy.
sciences. Astrotheology is the key. That is the answer why all spiritual religions have similar philosophies toward the material world. Civilization didn't just start randomly in the Middle East. Maybe with this alternative view, it can explain how similar traditions are present all around the world. Dances, fashion, spirituality, cooking, natural medicine, magic, and architecture. After some time, this became a global empire, with Great Tartaria established in the east, modern-day Russia. It isn't clear at this time whether Tartaria at its prime was controlled by Irish or had been hijacked, and that deliberate misuse of the great empire were rewarded with fire and thunder. If this is even close to true, is it possible that we may have missing time? I mean, after all, our calendar and time is based on astrology, and then finally determined and made law by the civilizers of society.
The
It's
Chinese
really
have
not
the
crazy to
oldest
assume
calendar
that
so
time has been
far.
constructed by these officials that took over the old empire, and I'm talking after flood. There's so much confusion because there's been multiple cataclysms on this earth, and that has been forgotten by the human race. I'm not talking floods, I'm talking earthquakes and things falling from the sky and who knows what else. It's not just stories. In this last global empire, whatever it was called, Irish, the Tartars, or the confusion, or the thieves, was destroyed and stolen by the Greeks/Romans. Then they conquered and cursed these nations forever by destroying their lands and rewriting their etymology. The word phony being derived from Phoenician is just one example. I have reason to assume that there was a great culture in America, and this will be further proven as we go on, but let's look at these maps again. I want to show you these mountains right by Salt
Mexico.
Lake City, or where it's supposed to be. Now, this is a lake that isn't here now. It's extremely large, and I can imagine that
That's
it
exactly
was
where Chihuahua's
very
at.
beautiful. This was at the top of a mountain, and it must be pretty high in elevation. And so it flowed out this strait into the Pacific. And so, now remember what the priest said about these people who lived on the mountains. He said that they perished, and I'm about to tell you why. Because when the earthquakes come, and the comets come, and the floods come, they are the worst places to be. Because water flows down from extreme heights, mixes with the soil, and creates a massive river of solid mass. This is likely what occurred. Solon's myth, Pharaonius, was talking about the destruction of Tartary. There was some type of cataclysm, and it could have been all over the world. In Asia, North America, it was big. There's a lot of evidence to show that this happened literally in the 1800s. I know it sounds crazy, but what I'm about to say is insane, but trust me and I'll walk you through it. To make it short, Tartary was destroyed somewhere between 300, 400 years ago. It could be longer, shorter, I don't know. But it was through some world-breaking event that caused earthquakes, mud floods all over the world, and this was due to some comet that was summoned through black magic by some evil group. This shook the world up, and people were down and distraught. And remember, this is not the flood of the Bible, this is after. And that is why this theory is so important right now. We truly need to be questioning who we are, what happened in our history, and what's going on here. Well, let's start with the Romans and the Jews. And please, if you're Roman or Jewish, don't take offense to this. I know for a fact that, nowadays, everybody has a really good heart, and it's kind of hard to really just terminalize it with just one word, but I'm sure you've done your research, and when we look into history and history gets dark, no other culture or race has been kicked out of more countries than the Jews from the history that we've been handed down. And there's a really dark history here, guys, and I can't really go into it in this
Even
channel,
in the
but
Bible.
it does explain so much. The Jews took the knowledge of the Irish, and they basically were a cult of the original knowledge of the Druids. That's the Kabbalah. It's the original tarot and the symbols that came from the Aryan priest of the global world empire after the flood. They took this knowledge, started practicing dark black magic, and basically through sacrifice and horrible religious ideologies, the ancient Jews warped and perverted the knowledge of the Irish. Now I don't know if black magic was used in the destruction of Tartary or not, but you tell me what happened. Tartaria could have been filled with peaceful people, because after the fight, they could have been easily subdued by the Roman soldiers. The Romans were the true Tartarians. They were the thieves. What we know as Tartaria is but a lie. The Romans and the Greeks named it using the language of the Gauls. Why? Well, we need to look into an important figure known as Josephus and how he influenced Rome. On Wikipedia, if you search Flavius Josephus, it says, during the First Jewish-Roman War, the Romans were battling the Jewish forces in Galilee. Now, Galilee is just one connection, even though it is in Israel. However, let's just reestablish this connection. So, what's happening? Before Christianity had begun, the Romans had their last and longest battle with the Druids. Well, the Druids were the Jews who hijacked the teachings of the Gomerites and stole it for their own perverted ways, became corrupt, and started sacrificing. That is why we hear about this happening in Carthage and Rome to please Jupiter. And this gets
Disclaimer, I do not agree or disagree with any of this. This is just a video.
dark, but let's go on. The Gomerites were the Irish people, and this must have happened long after Tartary had been destroyed. So what is going on? All this knowledge that we have is just knowledge from the age after the catastrophe of Tartary, or the story of Tantalus, the father of Niobe.
Word up,
But
brother.
here's the key to understanding this whole conspiracy. This was not Atlantis. I'm proving this through Plato. Plato could have been made up. It's entirely possible that the Greco-Roman civilizations never existed, and whatever empire was the culprit behind the deliberate destruction of Tartaria, or if it was just an accident, but whatever happened, someone rewrote history after this happened.
History is always written by the winners. When two cultures clash, the loser is obliterated and the winner writes the history books. Books which glorify their own cause and disparage the conquered foe. As Napoleon once said, what is history but a fable agreed upon? Dan Brown, The Da Vinci Code.
Let's recap. There was a flood, a deluge. The whole world went dark and was lost. The Irish civilization were the ones who preserved the knowledge from Atlantis. They distributed it throughout the world, and there was a worldwide global civilization. This is when Tartary existed. A group or empire or cult or whatever you want to call it, Rome, came to power through evil, black magic, with a plan to create a new world order. Cataclysm strikes all over the world. The greatest of all empires is destroyed, Great Tartaria, in which the Greeks wrote myths about. This evil group rises, takes over, history is rewritten, and all ancient history is systematically erased by these power-hungry peoples, whoever they were. All the remaining empires and people were forced to join or be killed. This gives me a better position to assert more theories. Now, if this is so, we need to establish some sort of timeline because what's going on? The first clue is in old 1600 maps. There's an I before the 600. Once you look into that and then you look at the records of the Dust East India Company, they have the same thing. The best way I can explain this whole thing is that the 1600 ones are Spanish or European. They are all made from the European Union. And where did they get their source maps? Okay, I'm going to get theoretical, but I feel as if I have to start somewhere with really figuring out what happened. What we know is the Renaissance, the European Union, forming after Rome from Germany and then to Spain, Britain, etc. It's a fabrication. It's well known these days that Shakespeare was just a character. How much more of our history is full of these fictional personas? And shoot, if he isn't real...
Hey, that makes you wonder how old is Hollywood. They are good at being actors at different roles. Even Trump says there's... what are those guys called? Let's look it up. Trump and actors. Political actors. Ooh. Come on, chat, help me out. What is that company that does acting? It's not Hollywood. Let's ask Google AI. Crisis Cast. Vision Box. I'll figure it out later.
Then maybe we should all just stop acting like we know it all, because with all these unsolved mysteries in the world, it really goes to show how little we understand. Before Tartary was destroyed, remember, I said global. So they were in Europe, and that's why you see crazy architecture that all looks similar with unique varieties, but it's all the same idea, all over Asia and Europe and North America. All we know is the Greeks or Romans, if they even existed, were a people who walked into the cities of a once great nation, and tried to scramble what they could from the remainders, and dominated the remaining victims of the cataclysm. One question that bothers me, and I would appreciate any
Central
input or
casting.
ideas, is Why were the remaining survivors of this great empire not be able to strike back? They must have been targeted, or something beyond belief happened that we can't really understand today with our modern minds. Now in part 2, I'm going to go in what happened with North America. Was there a great empire where the Grand Canyon was located? More proof for the mud flood with buildings underground and strange architectures in big cities. I know that was a lot of info, but we really felt compelled to try and bridge this Tartaria mystery with astrotheology and the story of Irish civilization. There's still a lot of interesting stuff that we didn't have time to mention, so stay tuned for more videos. Like and subscribe if you feel inclined. Until next time.
Release all that you think of as true.
Ooh. Eerie, guys. What did you guys think about that video? I, for one, am a firm believer that not all that you see is the truth. Uh-oh, there's a bot. Gets you wondering what you should be doing with your time. And that's to study, guys. Do your best to study. All right, now that we have done part 1, let's put part 2 on the queue. And then let's get some gaming going.
Scars are vows, kisses burn like
All right, let's do a mic check. Mic check with the music.
is his turn.
Pretty loud. All right, what about now? Is the voice pretty good?
Dark of mirror,
I like it.
body count, sealed now. He is summoned, he is fed, lips to lips, thread to thread.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Captain Gancio here.
I am Loki, god of mischief and the king of Asgard.
I wonder what part 2 is going to be talking about. We'll have to deep dive into the Irish lore, Irish history. Because I know the Queen actually starved the people from,
It is true.
starved the Irish, just let them eat potatoes. I know people love French fries, but that's actually a peasant food.
That is so cool.
Hey, hey Black Panther.
Maybe you could add me to your
What's up,
playlist.
bud? We're both captains.
Classic rock kind of guy, you know. But hey, you know,
I wonder who's the best captain, huh? It's probably me.
Battle starts in 5, 4,
Han Luna, it's probably me.
2, 1. You have to
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
them from securing the mission area.
my people look forward to the afterlife.
I outnumber you. The foe is here. I feel like myself again. Invigorating, no?
Oh my god.
Halt the adversary.
Oh my god, Luna, we are slacking.
Halt the adversary.
I like the cold.
Don't die, Strange! We need some DPS action going. Push with this! Push!
Disappear!
Oh god. No!
Nothing keeps me down for long. I have many faces. Healing for my friends.
I was worried. Clear vortex field.
The more the merrier. Our foes draw near.
You need to stop.
Let's get out of here!
Tracks.
The foe is here. Healing for my friends. The foe.
I like the cold. Better stop that.
Ooh, those are some good headshots.
And here we go again.
Climate.
Regroup, team!
The more the merrier. How refreshing. These waves.
I like the cold.
Invigorating, no? Ah, much.
They rated half lane. Stop them.
Never miss.
Keep an eye on this spot.
On your toes. Here they come.
Be careful over here.
I outnumber you. Oh, I'm fine.
Nice deep freeze. There's still a chance to stop them.
Watch your top heads!
Disappear! Grand finale.
I have many faces. Your powers are mine!
I am ready to put on a show.
Oh shit.
Making a cut!
Anyone willing to help? Belong to me. I like the
Again! Healing for my friends. How refreshing.
Now might be a good time to stop them. Thanks so much.
Again!
I like the cold.
I outnumber you. You've got much useful rubble to be created.
This is getting intense, guys.
Invigorating, no? The more the merrier.
We need some more DPX. These guys are not doing it.
I outnumber you.
A nice deep freeze.
Never miss.
Don't get shot! Good pick.
Our enemies are
Disappear! I suck.
the more the merrier.
The Sorcerer Supreme sends his greetings.
Hey, what's up, Strange?
Halt the adversary. I have many faces. Alright, that feels better.
Sorry. No
I'm right
escaping
here
us now.
with healing magic. Much better. You are restored.
Be careful over
Halt
here.
the adversary.
Stop them in their
The
tracks.
more the merrier.
I was worried.
Ah.
I am ready to put on a show.
Halt the
Fire
adversary.
mode.
Your god is suffering. I have many faces.
Good medicine.
Oh, huge! Fatty!
Vanish.
You got them all!
Good job, Strange.
I have many
You
faces.
stopped them in their tracks!
Bless the healing arts.
Some help! May Honshu show you mercy. It's okay. Admit it. You need me. I suck. Systems restoring.
The foe is here.
Ah, that's better. Disappear!
I outnumber you.
Better stop that vehicle!
I got scared.
Greetings. What did I miss? I'm everywhere.
Contest!
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Oh, it looks like I don't have to change the record. So 0-1. Oh, I gotta spam my Twitch so I can get more followers. Before that, let me link my brother's music.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
If you guys need music to stream, check out jackfrost at suno.com.
I am accused of loving chaos. It is true.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Let's see if that works. I know I'm gonna get a lot of haters.
I can't wait.
Don't hate on my Twitch, please.
Their way across the Rainbow Bridge again.
And why would these meddlesome rodents of yours be welcomed back to Ixgard?
Didn't you hear? Ratatoskr invited Tippy and the gang to hang out in the World Tree. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
This sure is a long way from Yancey Street.
Invigorating, no.
I appreciate you.
Oh, be careful, thing.
I outnumber you.
A little help, please. Rest easy, Ben. You earned it. I'm very
Wow, the thing got demolished.
I always come back.
Don't switch, thing. Don't give up, bruh.
You need to stop that vehicle.
He's going in there. Oh my god.
I'm everywhere.
Better stop that vehicle!
Punch the adversary.
Wakanda must be cleansed of this corruption.
The more the merrier. Render me assistance.
They've made it halfway! Stop them!
I stopped the payload shortly, guys.
Time to vanish.
You
Punch the
stop them in
adversary.
their tracks!
I am Groot!
The more the merrier.
Only in the Hall of Vast can my soul.
Better stop that vehicle!
Punch the adversary. Punch the adversary.
I'm gonna Groot them. Get ready.
I outnumber you.
I am ready to put on a show! I like the cold.
Bless the heathen knots.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys. I'll get you next time.
Perhaps I should be grateful.
Your god is suffering. You're quite welcome.
Oh god.
The foe is here.
Good job, guys. We survived.
Invigorating, no.
We got one.
Punch the adversary.
Ah.
I am barely harmed.
Punch the adversary.
Watch out. He's gonna Groot you guys.
I like the cold.
I'm right here with
I
him.
am Groot!
Let mine and punch the adversary. Invigorating, no. Us against the world.
Tremble before pass! My need was great.
Your powers are mine.
Now might be the time to stop that. I am ready to put on a show!
Oh, I got shot.
Better stop that vehicle!
Oh, Jack Frost wants to collaborate. Yeah. That means he's online.
Double KO!
Greetings. What did I miss?
Friends are here!
Yo, brother. What's up, man? Good, how are you, man?
Outnumber you. Observe. Invigorating, no. Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
It's now or never! Stop them! I'll get you next time. I was worried.
Okay.
Greetings. What did I miss?
We're getting wrecked, but we're doing our best. Do not give up, guys. Do not give up.
I outnumber
Never give up. Never surrender.
you. Are restored. right here with healing magic.
Thanks so much. I am ready to put on a show. Don't give them another
Good job. We just counted all of them. Ah, never mind.
They dare to lay hands on me? The more the merrier.
Ah.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Send an invite, my G. Dude, I went from 300 and something FPS, joined you, went down to 60. That was crazy.
I'm still at 200.
I'm steady 60 for some reason. It's not bad. 60 is good, but I'm just saying, like, I was at 300 and then boom.
All right, what about now? Or how about this? You invite me to your party.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Nope,
Like
I already did
don't
it.
give a-
I already did it.
Well, I'm back. Now I'm back to.
I'm still at 200 FPS right now. At
Dude,
least.
I don't know what happened. I was good, and now I'm locked at 60. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Send invite.
You're. No, you send invite now. I'm
Oh
getting.
my god.
You just saw all those sweats, bro. Those guys are way too good. Oh, great. Now I'm at 60 FPS. I'm just kidding.
I don't even know where you're at.
What'd you think about that YouTuber?
I think I've seen that video before, dude.
The right
Nuh-uh.
heroes could make all the
He actually just released a new video on photography and how they were doing photo manipulation way before technology.
Is it the one that's talking about the blimp? How the blimp is missing in the middle?
No, this was more about the chemistry behind it. So a lot of chemical,
Oh, okay.
like back in the day, negatives and photo exposure, using chemicals to enhance or decrease, and then doing different types of like edging and sketching on photos to manipulate them. Edging, gooner. Don't be a gooner.
Don't do it, man. Don't fucking do it.
I think I'll put that one up next because that one's actually pretty interesting. That's what made me want to share that first video. It was actually his first video released, but he's very informative. But I don't know if it's gonna mess with the copyright because that music was not something that probably wasn't copyright free. Hey everybody, we're gonna win!
Be careful with those guys.
There's a dude right here, ninja dude on the left.
And some dudes that like they get famous, they'll fucking they'll be pissed at your wife and shit.
They what?
They get pissed that you watch their content without their permission, and then they'll fucking
Well, I did
torture their
literally link that video. I linked it on the Twitch channel. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I think they're over here, guys. Be careful.
I think they're over here, guys. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh, you're Jeff, bro. I saved your life. I hear them. They're up here.
Observe
I think it's Black Panther, so be careful. You're gonna get 2-tapped.
More eager idiots.
Oh, our ninja dude's dead. Come back here, ninja guy.
I outnumber you.
Oh shit. Oh, Luna, come back here. What are you girls doing?
Just hang out in the.
Yeah, just stay here. Don't even trip. Guys, we're playing this.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
No, shut up. You don't tell me to shut up.
The more the merrier. Thank me later.
I'm out of here. Run! I died. Bro, shut the fuck up.
Is he streaming on using stream mic as a game mic? Rip.
Is he streaming on?
I'm using a game mic as. I don't know.
What did he say? Is he streaming on using stream mic as game mic? Rip. I don't get it. What does that mean?
Hunt the adversary.
That's what I said.
I'm everywhere. Your god
Dude, and our guys are just fucking chilling.
Haha, I got one. Run! Run, guys, run!
made me angry. I outnumber you.
Oh, thank God.
Hunt the adversary. The foe is here.
What is happening now?
Only 60 seconds left.
Invigorating, no. Dragon unleashed.
Oh, dude, they're coming. They're coming! Don't go in there, brah.
They don't. Where do you think you're going?
I gotta go help them,
Yeah,
though.
I'm still alive. I'm still alive.
I suck. Down to 30 seconds.
Oh, they're coming after me now.
Render me assistance. My thanks, Sheila.
I was worried. It's the grand finale. You belong to me. The final 10 seconds.
This was strange. This is definitely the strangest game I've played.
Yeah, I've never.
We just needed a Doctor Strange.
Another epic victory.
Yeah, dude. Like, this doesn't even feel right. Do we deserve that win, dude? Do we? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna count it.
You're like, I've had nothing but L's, bro. I need it. Gee, your stream's frozen.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, it did. Here, let me, how do I fix this?